Laura Schifrin, and I will call the meeting of the Select Board of March 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Roll call.
Veronica Cal present.
Laura Schifrin present. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank all of our veterans, as well as those currently serving in our military and our emergency response individuals and their families. We'll do all them with that effect too. Did you have any thank yous or anything?
No, I do not. Nothing for that.
Okay, thank you. This meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. Is there anyone else in the room recording? Anyone else online that is recording? Seeing none. 1.5. We brought from yesterday to review the minutes or approve for February 4th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the meeting minutes of 02/04/2025.
And I second. Any further discussion?
I just want it noted that I did give a couple changes to Sabrina.
Okay.
Nothing serious, just word change here and there. Yeah.
Okay. And what she had is what I. Okay. Very good. Then we should be good.
And that was in addition to the agenda, correct? The minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
I should have said that under additions or deletions, and I missed that. I'm sorry. I forgot to say the words. I saw it, but I forgot to say the words. So, all right, under 1.4,
do we need
1.5, the minutes of February 4th, 2025. And so we've had the discussion. Roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Number 2, there are no appointments this evening. Number 3, there are no appointments. Number 3. Number 4, if it pleases, I would like to take 4.2 before we get to 4.1. Any objection?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to review, discuss the attorney services for the cable negotiation contract. Is there a motion?
I move.
This was recommended by the Cable Advisory Board, which came from a recommendation from our town council.
Okay. I move that we approve the cable negotiation contract as presented and authorize town administrator Nelson Louis to sign the contract on the select board's behalf.
And I second. Any discussion?
So did our town council review this?
He did.
Yes.
He did.
And
okay.
He was okay with it as the way it's presented.
Okay. All right.
He knows. He knows this attorney.
I think this is who the town used several years ago. I think it's the same person as in 2019, 2020 timeframe.
It is the one before. It's not the one that was when it was done. Right? It's the one before.
There were two.
Yeah. He did the first one, then there was a year, maybe 2, we had somebody else.
Yes.
Now he's back.
Okay. All right. So the motion has been made
and seconded.
Okay.
And we discussed.
Yes.
Roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. I'll read it. Thank you. Yes, Dave.
Nelson, can you see if yourself and he can attend our meeting on Friday at noon? It's going to be virtual.
It's not tomorrow?
I thought I have it tomorrow.
Yeah, I thought it was the 20th.
I have it noon, cable advisory on the 20th.
I'm in the same boat you are. Every day is a different day, but
Let me double check.
And tomorrow is always Friday.
I think
It
you're
is
right.
tomorrow at noon.
It is
and it's
tomorrow.
virtual only. It's virtual only.
Virtual only, so.
I can attend.
Okay,
So, and it's perfect because it will be signed and executed. So he'll officially be, our attorney for this negotiation.
very good. Very good.
Thank you. And you're gonna contact him to ask him to show up tomorrow or tune in tomorrow?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm gonna get out of here.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Dave. See ya.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to 4.1, which is review, discuss, the cut omnibus budget and finalizing of ballot questions. You have the floor, Nelson.
Thank you. So, it's been a pretty hectic, week and a half or so trying to come up with, an override amount that we believe, has the best chance of passing. That's kind of balances out, the needs of the town versus, the voters. So let me just share my screen here. Should I tell them, what the amount is right off the bat, Veronica?
Yeah, sure. That's up to you.
So, I am recommending that, we put forth a, ballot question at the annual town election, for an override amount of $625,000 to help fund the, operating budget for FY26 budget. And this is directly off the Division of Local Services website. Massachusetts Department of Revenue, a $625,000 tax override would, on average, equate to an increase on single-family tax bill of just under $182 a year. So, mind you, this override, trash is included in this override, so everyone will continue using excuse me, their page you throw purple bags. That service is not going away, so we made sure to preserve this service for all the residents here in town.
How did you get there?
So we
Something's gonna be cut. It's not enough to cover everything as it is today. Or is it?
what do you mean exactly?
Does it include all services and all employees as it is today?
For the most part, yes, and I'll expand on that. How we got to this number, which I will share with you right now. This top section here, $28,971,000. That was the number that was presented at the special town meeting last week.
For schools?
Yeah, so this was the overall budget. The general government budget was $12.2 million, which equated to a 4.5% increase. The school assessments, 6.5% increase over the last year for Neshoba. North Middlesex. Neshoba was, 3.7% increase, which resulted in an overall budget increase of 5.5%. So this bottom figure here is what, after a week and a half of, back and forth and cutting, this is the number I've arrived at, which, as you can see here, equates to only a 2.28% increase in the overall general government budget. We reduced expenses by over $263,000 to get to this amount. And that was due to cutting expenses. We're still waiting on a few more departments for their feedback. But we feel like a $625,000 override, taking into account, the expenses and reduction in expenses, as well as, some changes in some positions, whether it's funding it a different way, or having some flexibility, in some of those vacant positions at the moment.
So how are you going to present this at the forum?
Oh, so the forum has been decided. It's going to be on April 16th. It's going to be in the North Middlesex High School auditorium. It's going to start at 7 p.m. And between now and then, we are going to get the word out however we can, signboards, newsletters, the website, maybe certain advocacy groups, would, push the word out there to, come to this public forum and listen to our presentation, listen to how we got to, this override amount, things we cut to get there, and, more importantly, what the implications are if the override doesn't pass. If it doesn't pass, more likely than not, we're going to lose curbside trash pickup, meaning every household is going to have to find other means to get rid of their waste, which is,
Which will cost them more than what the override will be.
they're going to have to contract privately to, get rid of their waste. Not only that, but we would be looking at really severe staffing cuts. We don't know what those staffing cuts look like at the moment, because town employees, a lot of them belong to unions, so there's there's negotiations that need to happen at the bargaining table. So we have no idea what those cuts would look like. So, but we are now going to work on, worst case scenario, what that would look like, and
Because that has to be presented too, so that they know ahead of time before they vote that this is what's going to happen if it doesn't go through.
Correct, and I'm trying to find out, I'm trying to work with town labor council to how to best approach the cuts that would need to happen if the override doesn't pass.
Okay. So originally, to keep all staff, because we have a hiring freeze right now, but that doesn't mean that that's not a position that we need to fill. So we have that hiring freeze.
I would say it's not an official hiring freeze at the moment. We're certainly not. Yeah, we're certainly not hiring anyone at the moment. At least on the
Not
general.
pursuing somebody right now.
What's that?
It's not posted, right?
What
Position,
What
land
position?
use.
It has been posted like weeks ago, but we're not.
Oh, that's
we're,
right.
we're not interviewing or calling back candidates. So, and that's one of the positions that there might be some flexibility of what we might do, moving forward, because whenever there's a vacant position, that's a good opportunity to, make some changes. I don't know what that would look like, but
I agree.
those changes would result in savings, I think, if we were, explore those options.
The positions, that position is open, and it's also a union position. So there's that piece of things too.
Land use?
Yes, it's a union position. So it needs to be bargained. any changes need to be discussed with the union.
Okay.
Correct.
So, it's too early to say this, and this.
So how did you come to this number? Is it a 20% cut across the board?
No, so, at the moment, no, salaries are being, reduced at the moment, which was one of my main goals.
So no hours are reduced, no reduced hours, no salaries? Nothing having to do with that?
No, not at the moment. There might be one part-time position that we're considering, reducing, but that's still kind of very preliminary and up in the air, but certainly no union position or anything like that. None of the salaries are being, reduced in any way, shape, or form. And which was one of my goals, and I'm pleasantly surprised that, after doing the exercise, none of the, wages were touched. So, we had to nip and tuck in multiple areas, just to, get down to what we feel was a reasonable override amount. Now, we're still, soliciting feedback from departments, to see, where other cuts, expenses, cuts and expenses can happen, so that's still ongoing. But I don't think it's gonna change the bottom line too much. I kind of built in to the calculation that we're gonna see some additional, cuts that I haven't quite received yet from various departments. So I'm confident that, 625 is a number that we can work within the confines of.
I concur. Some departments had given Nelson information, those were incorporated into this, some haven't yet. So, so the 625, like Nelson said, it's a number that, if you look at the recap, we need more than 625.
Yeah.
But with what we anticipate coming in, 625 is reasonable, yeah. And we do need to talk to the union only about a couple positions that are open, but that's it. So all of the existing positions will stay as is. If the override doesn't pass, different story.
Correct.
Completely different story. But a lot of changes in expenses, a lot of departments that had grant funding, moving grant funding around to cover staff, where otherwise it might not have, those sorts of things. So that helped a lot. Having the department heads look at their own budgets is certainly, when I looked at it before, I just chopped off,
Right.
But that was just can we do this? Will this work? What's the number that might come out for an override? I was hoping that we wouldn't need an override at all, but we do. So,
well, after the meeting we had and not being able to present what we were presenting, that wasn't going to happen because we lost all the money that we thought we wouldn't need an override for.
Well, we needed, on March 10th, which was only a week and a half ago,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
we needed 1.334 million.
Yeah.
That was the ask. And so to reduce things, and you see that up there, we reduced from what was a 4.64 increase over the prior year to what is now a 2.2% over, increase.
Yeah, which is, certainly below, 2.5%, I can't, the schools have not, as you can see, adhered to that. That's through no fault of their own, but, on the town side, we are certainly trying our best to, whittle it down as much as we can. And like I said, we identified, over $260,000 in reductions that we think, gets us to a pretty reasonable, override amount.
And it's at $625,000, it's $181 a year for the average household. That's $15 a month. And that does include trash. Yes, you have to buy the pay-as-you-throw bags, but $15 plus the 20 that you might spend on purple bags, depending on your house, is $35 a month versus the $50 a month that Mr. Shaw told us would be the price for individual pickup. So this is,
And that's the average, because some people will be below that and some will be over.
correct, but it's still, it allows for trash pickup to continue at a really reasonable rate for everybody in town, should they choose to do it. So
yeah, that was one of my goals to, preserve trash, because, it's pretty needed service that pretty much everyone uses. So, I think preserving it was very important, in doing this exercise, and also, as I mentioned before, making sure everyone's salaries weren't reduced in any way, shape, or form. Times are tough, and I asking for someone to take a pay cut, it's really tough. And I'm happy that, we were able to, avoid that at the moment. But I think things will be very difficult if the override does not pass.
So we urge everybody to support the override.
Right.
And again, the public forum is Wednesday, April 16th at the North Middlesex Auditorium at 7 p.m. We hope everyone will attend. I think it will be a very informative forum, explaining the town's perspective on the override, how we got there, and what the implications are if it doesn't pass. So we hope at the end of that forum, everyone will be fully educated on what the override is comprised of, and we hope they will go to the annual town election and cast their votes.
All right, well, thank you both for all your hard work on this.
And you.
Is there a motion?
I move that we add a question to the annual town meeting ballot for an override of $625,000.
And I second. Any further discussion?
I have none.
Okay, hearing none.
I think Harrison has a question.
I apologize, sorry to raise my hand. Just a clerical error with the motion, the annual town election ballot, not the annual town meeting ballot.
Oh, did I say meeting? I meant election.
I
Oh,
apologize, just to.
Thank you.
I heard election. That's bad.
The annual town election.
Election.
You want to just restate the
Well-
motion? Or?
I move that we
It is
add
a-
a question to
it is
the
a ballot
annual
question.
town, a ballot question to the annual town election. At the, for an override at the amount of $625,000.
Okay, and I second that. Is that correct now?
Yes, I'm sorry, so you didn't have to revote it, I apologize.
And I will send it down to Kathy tomorrow morning, pending Adam's sort of final review.
Okay,
Okay. Of the exact wording of the question on the
Yeah.
ballot.
Correct.
Okay,
okay.
vote.
Yes,
Veronica Kell, yes?
and Laura Schifrin, yes. Thank you again very much. For that, under 5, do you have any other reports for us tonight?
Not since last night, no. No.
And
I have nothing.
I have nothing but to say that I attended 2 meetings today. One was on open meeting law, which I did at the same time last week. Did you do last week at noon? It was a webinar.
That was the committees and all. I wound up here last week.
Yes,
I didn't,
it was,
but it's recorded, so.
yes.
yeah.
Okay, so I did that today, and then the MPO, which I had asked the question, and I don't remember how this started, but I was asking the senior center if they would do if Mart would do a pickup there for the Emerson runs.
Mhm.
So I did ask that, and I didn't, and it was mentioned today by the person who runs that transportation part. And I said, oh, whatever happened to the request from senior center? And he said, oh, I sent over whatever, but I don't know where it was sent to, but I have a copy and I gave it to Sabrina. If they're, the only towns that were included in the governor's funding was Air, Harvard, and Shirley. So this, they said they would do it on call, but there is a fee to the town. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I can't ask for that now, because it's gonna add more money to the budget. I
What is
have the
the
list
fee?
and we can, Sabrina will put it in the SharePoint and you can look at it. This is for on-demand Mart from the senior center to the Emerson Hospital run.
Okay, if I remember from my last go round as a selectman, when we were doing the transportation for the Mart bus to go to Fitchburg, which I think is on call now.
It is on call.
There was all the towns got a stipend, more or less, an amount of money. This is why that service was free to us.
Right.
Why can't those funds be redirected for this?
Ask the governor?
No, I don't think it's the governor. I think it has
No,
more.
it came from the State House. The
Oh, so this is a
256,000
separate,
Yeah, this, when Neshoba closed, that was their way of giving back to the community so that they could
and who
provide
filed
the
it?
transportation.
Air, Harvard, and Shirley?
Yeah. And I think the pickup is in Air.
Oh, that doesn't do us any good.
No, that's why the senior center had asked, gee, that would be great if we could get a pickup here. So then that's
And do you
when I
know what the
asked.
charge is to the town?
Yeah.
Well, we'll look at that and discuss it at a
Yeah.
different meeting. Okay.
But I wanted to talk about it because it is out there.
Well, has anybody spoken to our state rep or state senator to advocate on our behalf for this service?
I don't think I talked to Margaret. I
Okay.
didn't.
Okay, I'll look at it. And we can talk about it.
Yeah. Anyway, it's out there and I want the senior center to know that I did pass along the message. And there was a response and we can
Okay.
look at it. Figure out how much that is. And I don't know if it's something that maybe the senior center, I mean, nobody's got any money, so, but it might be something if they want it. I don't know.
Okay, we'll look at it.
But it would be a town cost. It would not be a cost to the rider.
Right.
That's how it's written. Okay, were there any volunteer response forms that have come in? Okay. There's still lots of openings for anyone who's interested. And our next meeting is April 1st at 6 p.m. Don't think there's anything in between that. And so the forum is on the 16th.
Do we have a meeting on the 8th? I believe we do. So it's April 1st, April 8th, April 16th for the high school auditorium.
Probably the 15th too. The 15th is normal.
Is it? I thought we skipped. We did those back-to-back days. I have the 8th. Oh yeah, we have the 15th.
Yep.
1st, 8th, 15th, and 16th.
I only have the 15th. But I remembered the first, so. Okay, so it is the 8th as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we meeting again on the 8th?
Well, I don't know,
It's
but
on
let's see what happens on the 1st.
It's on a cycle.
It is, but we have that on our list. I don't know why.
We
All right.
can talk about it on the first, because it
Correct.
will not have been posted yet, okay? And
Yeah.
we definitely are meeting on the 15th and 16th.
Yes.
Okay, so that's for the meeting dates. And I can't believe we're having such a short meeting. Is there anything else to come before the body? I'll take a motion to adjourn at 6:31.
I move that we adjourn at 6:31 PM.
I second. Any further discussion, any objection? Hearing none, we are adjourned. We are adjourned, Dave, thank you.